Alright guys, chapter 3 starts the real important stuff of calculus, the stuff that we're going to use the most of. But once again, we're going to go back to the definition of a derivative, and we're going to find right now we have three definition of derivatives. This is a derivative at a point. Then we also have the limit as h approaches 0 of f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. Remember, that's the slope between the 2 points. Now this one is going to be the one that you can just remember this one forever and ever and ever, and you can use that one. But what the book wants you to do is they want you to be able to identify that you can do this one too. So this first one says f prime of a, so it's the derivative at a. Our a happens to be 3 in this problem. So we're going to do the limit as x approaches a, which is 3, of f of x, which is square root of x plus 1, minus f of a, f of 3 is square root of 3 plus 1, which is 2, and then divided by x minus 3. Okay, so we plug in 3 and we get square root of 2 minus, or square root of 4 minus 2, which is 0, divided by 3 minus 3, which is 0. So it eliminates. And the trick that I told you guys to remember is that anytime you have square roots, all you got to do is just use the conjugate, multiply by the conjugate of this. So the conjugate of that is square root of x plus 1 plus 2, divided by square root of x plus 1 plus 2. Okay, so we're not going to multiply the bottom through, but we are going to multiply the top, and this happens to be difference of squares, a minus b times a plus b. So this becomes the limit as x approaches 3. I'm going to write it out for you. We got square root of x plus 1 squared minus 2 squared, divided by x minus 3 times square root of x plus 1 plus 2. Normally I wouldn't even write this right here. I'd go right to the answer, but I'm trying to show you guys what's going on. What we're doing is we're foiling right here, foil, foil, but because of that plus sign and that minus sign, the middle term gets canceled out. So then this simplifies to limit as x approaches 3 of x plus 1 minus 4 divided by x minus 3 times square root of x plus 1 plus 2. That becomes x minus 3, so we'll cross that out and make it x minus 3, which then cancels out with that x minus 3. So that's good news right there. So now we're left with the limit as x approaches 3 of 1 over the square root of x plus 1 plus 2. If we look at here, hey, we can plug in 3 into here, and we get an answer that's not 0 over 0, square root of 4 plus 2, which happens to be 1/4. Okay, now if you guys didn't want to do that and you wanted to do the derivative, I'm going to go ahead and do it right here. You do not have to do this. This is just for this one right here. It does make it a little bit of a bigger problem, but f of x plus h equals square root of x plus h plus 1. Okay, so this is going to be the limit as h approaches 0 of square root of x plus h plus 1, because that's f of x plus h, minus f of x, which is square root of x plus 1, divided by h. Okay, we're going to multiply by the conjugate, which is square root of x plus h plus 1 plus square root of x plus 1. On the top and on the bottom, square root of x plus h plus 1 minus, or plus square root of x plus 1. Can't see that right there, but it's just this up in the top. So that's going to FOIL out, and we're going to get the limit as h approaches 0. This times this gives us x plus h plus 1 minus x plus 1, all divided by h times square root of x plus h plus 1 plus square root of x plus 1. Okay, the x's in here, we'll do this again, limit as h approaches 0, x plus h plus 1 minus x minus 1 divided by h times square root of x plus h plus 1 plus square root of x plus 1. So the x's cancel out, the 1's cancel out, and we're left with h on the top, which gives it a 0 on the top, h on the bottom, which gives it a 0 on the bottom. We'll move this down here. So those h's cancel out, and we get the limit as h approaches 0 of 1 over the square root of x plus h plus 1 plus square root of x plus 1. Now I can plug in h is 0, I get 1 over the square root of x plus 1 plus the square root of x plus 1, which is 1 over 2 square root of x plus 1. So that's the derivative of this function right here, square root of x plus 1. To figure out what the answer is, we plug in 3 into there. So that's f prime of x equals 1 over 2 times the, 1 over 2 times the square root of x plus 1. If we want f prime of 3, because that's what this a was 3, we get 1 over 2 times the square root of 4, which is 1/4. All right, next question, 22. Super important. Make sure you guys understand what's going on here. Check out right here. That tangent line is 0. That tangent line is 0. This is our function. This is the graph of our derivative. The graph of a derivative means the slope of the tangent line. So on this equation, when x equals -2, the slope is 0. So we put a 0 in there. When x is 1, the slope is 0. So we put a 0 in there. Then we look at all these tangent lines. Right here, tangent line is positive, but as x gets bigger, it gets closer and closer to 0. So from -infinity to -2, -infinity to -2, it is positive, but it's getting smaller, so it goes down like that. Then right here, all our little tangent lines are negative now, right? They're going down. It's negative, and it's getting smaller, so it goes down. But right about here, it stops getting smaller and it starts getting bigger, so it comes back up like that. Then after it hits 0, right there, 0, it becomes positive and it gets bigger and bigger forever, and so then we get this. That's an x cubed function. That's an x squared function. All right, let f of x equal 1 minus 3x squared. What is f of 1? This is, or f prime of 1, sorry. Once we get to the next couple sections, this problem is going to be the easiest problem that you're going to do all year long. But because we don't know that, we have to do the limit as h approaches 0. F of x plus h, so we'll plug in x plus h into here. And 1 minus 3 times x plus h squared. 1 minus 3 times x squared plus 2xh plus h squared. 1 minus 3x squared plus 6xh plus 3h squared. Perfect. So that's our f of x plus h. So remember, we're using this formula, f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. You can pause it right there if you need to write that down. That's an important formula. Okay, limit as h approaches 0. F of x plus h is 1 minus 3x squared plus 6xh plus 3h squared minus 1 plus 3x squared. Remember, we're doing minus f of x, so we got to distribute that negative sign through both of those. All divided by h. Great thing about that, the 1's cancel out, the 3x squared cancels out, and we're left with the limit as h approaches 0 of 6xh plus 3h squared divided by h. H goes into both of those, so we get the limit as h approaches 0 of 6x plus 3h. I can plug in 0 now, because that's not going to be in the denominator, and I get 6x. But this question said f prime at 1. This is f prime of x is 6x. So f prime of x equals 6x. Therefore, f prime of 1 equals 6 times 1. So our answer is 6, and that answer is D. Okay? So it will get easier when we give you guys the derivative rules. It'll make it a lot easier. You'll like it a lot more. All right, guys, keep on working. If you have any questions, email me or text me. Thanks.